Hello everyone, welcome back to the weekly Forex analysis. Let's get going and start off with the DXY. If you remember last week, we were expecting DXY to push back up and create a new higher high here, breaking the previous top. Instead, the price just came close, a few pips away, created these equal highs here before dropping with the FOMC news and found some support around this fair value gap level here. Question is right now, is the price ready to go up? So to answer that question, we need at least a breakout from this area here, the price to go up impulsively, or at least to give us a sign that the market is resuming the bull run. And afterwards, if we get a correction, then most likely the price will come back up and take out the equal highs here that were created in the aftermath of the FOMC meeting. So for this week, be careful and watch the price action. If you get a breakout here and then a consolidation, a range, then most likely the price will come back up. If not, let it correct here. It might drop one more time before giving you another opportunity to enter. So keep an eye out on this level here that I'm highlighting. If we break it, then wait for a consolidation, push back up, and then we'll have a new higher high. EURUSD, we're expecting a drop here from this consolidation. If you remember last week, I was highlighting this line here, and I said that if we get here a breakout and a solid close, and then we get a consolidation, then most likely the price will take out this low, gathering all the liquidity, but instead the price decided to go back up, retest the trend line, and now we find ourselves in a fair value gap area. So pretty important here. Let me delete this arrow. For this week, very important to watch the price action. If we get here a sideways move underneath the trend line, I would suggest to stay away because this could be a consolidation for one more push up to collect more liquidity because the fair value gap hasn't been totally filled. So there's some room here. There's also another block sitting above. So the price has a chance to go back up. But personally, I would wait a bearish reaction here. And if we get a consolidation afterwards, then this will come back down. So this is the forecast for this week on EURUSD. Pound USD, similar. We were expecting the price to drop from here. We were expecting this order block level to hold, and then after a reaction, we were expecting a consolidation. Instead, the price made a new higher high inside this area. So in the coming week, as you can see, we didn't get a candle close above the trend line, but now I don't know how much that will count because we took out this level here. We also hit this fair value gap area that we are in right now. And similar to EURUSD, very important to watch the price action. If we get here a sideways move, then the price will continue to go up, push up, retest the order block here, and maybe then we'll get a bearish reaction. So for this week, keep in mind this option. Another option is that if we get here a breakout from this level, take out the previous higher low, then if we get a consolidation, the price will definitely drop and create a new lower low. So keep an eye out on these two scenarios, and depending on which one of them will develop, you guys take your chances. The signals are a bit mixed this week because the market moved a bit messy the entire week because of the FOMC and the NFP news that we had. So we have to let it calm down a bit to see a bit more structure. So that's why I'm presenting you both scenarios that we have. Dollar yen, this one we were expecting last week to drop towards this trend line and then give us a reaction towards the upside to take out this top. Instead, the price decided to pull back even deeper, making this consolidation here. Then this was followed up by this drop. Now, in the coming week, I'm expecting here another move like this, another consolidation, another drop, because as you can see on the MACD, we only have one leg here, so this might need to slow down a bit, and for that we need this consolidation to occur before giving us a crossover and eventually dropping, taking out this low, giving us the divergence that we need. So this week, if you get here a consolidation, don't hesitate to go with the sell if you get the setup towards the downside. Other than that, I won't advise you guys to go for a buy right now because this could also pull back deeper and create a bull trap before dropping. So wait for it. It's not necessary to trade it towards the downside, but if you get here a setup after the consolidation is over, which means a bearish reaction followed by a small pullback, then this is your trade towards the downside. And I advise you guys to take profits fast because this is only a correction in the grand scheme of things. Let me squeeze the chart a bit. So you see the price is pretty impulsive towards the upside. Correction here, we can get a correction similar to this or similar to this one here. So as you can see, this is a much needed pullback for this whole trend that we have going on towards the upside. Okay, so like I was saying, this could develop into something like that. We also have a fair value gap level here that could be targeted at some point. So keep an eye out on this possibility, but eventually the price will come back up, take out this top. Australian dollar versus the US dollar. This one we were forecasting a drop to take out this lows here. Instead, the price decided to go up because of the DXY. So with the dollar weakness, all the majors went up. And in the coming week, I'm expecting here a consolidation for Australian dollar versus the US dollar, and then one more push towards the upside. This is a clear pattern because of the MACD as well. If you look at the MACD, we don't have divergence here between these two tops, so I'm expecting here a pullback similar to this one, or maybe a range before one more push back up, and then we will see if we get our move towards the downside or if we get a buy setup. Okay, so keep an eye on these two scenarios as well. We also have a trend line here which we can take into consideration for a potential entry towards the upside. Like I was saying, this one looks the best for me if you want to trade it towards the upside. Wait for a pullback and then go with your trade if you get a reaction, a bullish reaction. Other than that, I want to advise you guys to trade towards the downside. Keep an eye out on the MACD. When this candle will close on Monday, you will definitely have no divergence here, so wait for a pullback. The MACD should look like this, and then it might come back up, giving you some divergence at some point. New Zealand USD. For this one, similar, we were expecting the price in the worst case scenario to hit the trend line and then drop to take out this low. And as you can see, our analysis wasn't correct. So we broke out of this trend line. We hit this fair value gap area. So now we have a pretty confusing situation. Considering the fact that this is a downtrend, I'm expecting this one to be a pullback, because we always have to look at the bigger trend, so we have to trade with the trend. And I'm expecting here a pullback. We broke this trend line here, so this is a good sign. Even though we are in a fair value gap level here, if we get here a correction, this is a good sign that the price will come back up one more time to take out some more liquidity, because in the past we didn't have corrections that retraced a lot. We had this impulse down, this 1 2 3 here corrective pattern, then another drop, some small pullback, and then this was the final drop before this move here. So we can have something similar to this, or even something that will pull back a bit deeper before dropping. So in the grand scheme of things, this is the pattern that I will be looking for. But for now, let's take it step by step. And like I was saying, wait for this consolidation, if it happens, to push the price back up and take out this top here. USDCAD, last week we were expecting the price to give us a bullish signal from this level. I think we were suggesting for you guys to wait for a deeper retracement towards the fair value gap area before a wave up. Eventually this wave up came, but we didn't fill this zone here. So as you can see, the price then started to drop, collected some more liquidity, and now we have a bullish candle here. So in the coming week, we have to pay close attention to the price action, let this push back up a bit more, and if you get here a pullback, a consolidation, or a range, go with the trade towards the upside, because this will be a corrective pattern for another wave up like this one. Okay, USDCHF, last week we were expecting the price to finish this consolidation and push back up. We didn't neglect the fact that we have these equal lows here. If you remember from 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I was saying that the price will at some point come back and take out these equal lows, and it looks like this is happening right now. So we had this pullback, one more push towards the upside as expected, and then this drop came along, and I'm expecting here a pullback, one more drop, collect the liquidity from these equal lows here. We also have a fair value gap area sitting here, so if the price decides to pull back a bit more, this is a good area to watch for a potential reaction. So if you guys get a trade inside this level here after the pullback is finished, you can go for it, but similar to the dollar yen, wait for it to take out this low and then close it fast, because it could reverse when we'll break this equal lows here. Other than that, if the price decides to be a bit messy, it will correct and fall even more towards the fair value gap area, and then we'll see if we get a reaction towards the upside. Pound yen, we're expecting the move up to continue in the previous week. So as you can see here, we also have a series of equal lows. So the price here could consolidate and drop one more time, take out the liquidity from these levels here, or by hitting this core zone here that we have, which is the previous correction before the impulse, which is this area here, it could start making a reversal, slow, messy, and steady, creating a bear trap, but in fact the price pushing back up. So for now we don't have any setup for this one. Let it break this level if it wants to. If not, we'll be waiting for a reaction towards the upside and then a consolidation. Gold, we're expecting this one here to make another pullback similar to this one here. So this is the pattern that we were expecting to develop. So as you can see, we got it, the price dropped, and now the price is making here a range. So we have to wait a bit more for a few more candles here to develop in order for the pattern to be completed. This could become something like a deeper correction, but I would like to see it drop one more time before pushing back up. So this has all the chances to go down, but we need to wait for this consolidation. If you want to trade towards the upside, wait for a breakout of the trend line and then a pullback before going with your trade towards the upside. But this will take time to develop, and I don't advise you guys to trade it right now. Let's wait for a deeper pullback, because this one as well, look at the length of this impulse towards the upside. It's pretty big, so we might need something deeper here. So that's why I'm expecting here this consolidation to drop one more time and create something like this before pushing back up. So as always, patience pays off. So wait for your setup, wait for the price to finish the pattern, and then see if it will go down from here. And if something happens, we will update you later on. Silver, similar to gold, we're expecting another reaction towards the downside. We got it, we had this consolidation, dropped, the price broke the trend line, and now it's making a consolidation underneath. We have this trend line above the consolidation, but if the price breaks it, I don't think it's a breakout that I would like to see, because every breakout that occurs, I want it to be a bit impulsive to give us a good indication about the decision of the trend and the candles before making a consolidation and then pushing back up. So if we get a move similar to that, then it has all the chances to go back up and break the top. But personally, I think this here will correct a bit more and drop one more time. Oil, this one is pulling back deeper than we expected, but this is in our own advantage, because on the daily and the weekly the trend is up. So we have this trend line here that suggests that we are in a downtrend, but in the grand scheme of things, this is a consolidation. We had moved like this, similar to this one previously in the past, like this pullback and also this pullback, so don't panic. We have some liquidity sitting here, so the price in the coming week could start correcting, push back down. For me to be confident in a move towards the upside, I would like to see this trend line being taken out with an impulse followed by a consolidation before pushing back up, taking out this top, and eventually heading towards the $90 level. Natural gas, last week we were expecting the price here to continue the consolidation, and as you can see, this is developing nicely here, is making continuous higher highs. We also got a trend line here, which I'll take into consideration in the coming week, because I want to see the price correcting here, maybe towards this trend line, and then pushing back up. If not, the price could make here as well a small pullback, a flag, and then push back up, continue towards the upside. S&P, this one broke this trend line here, so I'm expecting in the coming week some messy moves inside this area, having a good potential to break this top and create a new higher high. NASDAQ, this one here is similar. This one pulled back deeper than the S&P. We had this sharp wave down, but it was expected, because we were saying a few weeks back that this impulse here has to give us a deeper consolidation or a bigger degree correction, because we only have some small ones along the way. So this was necessary, and in the coming week I would expect the price to bounce off from this trend line, and if that happens, I'll be looking for a reaction towards the upside, consolidation, and then a new all-time high by taking out this top. Okay, but there's also a possibility that we'll make a small correction and then push back up. Bitcoin, we're expecting Bitcoin here to drop, to take out these lows. If you remember, the price went back down. Now the question is if this is the move that will resume the uptrend, or if this consolidation will get a bit deeper. So for that to happen, we have to wait for a breakout from this level here. Let me draw it on the chart for you guys. So this is the levels that I would like to see a breakout, and if that happens and we get a pullback here, then this is your next trade towards the upside. Other than that, anything can happen below this line here, so pay close attention, because this could also drop, collect more liquidity here. Also, we have this level that I have highlighted here, which has a lot of uncollected liquidity, so keep an eye out on this possibility. Ether, this one went according to our plan. 2 weeks ago, we were forecasting this fair value gap level to be hit and then dropped. And as you can see, the price went more than 500 pips towards the downside. The target was met. We took out this low, and now the price is slowly gathering some momentum towards the upside. So like I was saying, this was from 2 weeks ago. Last week, we were expecting the price to make here a consolidation and then drop. Instead, the price went towards this level here to fill it and then went back down to take out the low. Okay, so for Ether, for me to be confident in a move towards the upside, similar to Bitcoin, I want to see a breakout, but from this trend line here, consolidation, and if that happens, happy days. We're gonna go back up, take out this top. If not, this here could be a pattern similar to this one. Come back, test the trend line, and then drop, take out this low again, and create a new lower low, and making the correction a bit more complex than expected. Okay, so with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit that like button and also subscribe to our channel. And if you have any other pairs or instruments that you'd like us to cover in the future streams, leave them in the comment section below and we will add them to our analysis list. And in the meantime, don't forget to trade with care, and see you guys on the next one.